Rightio, g'day. I thought today I'd show you quickly how to draw your cube, your block in Fusion 360. Now this is the first in a number of videos that I want to go through. Ideally we'll do this as quickly as possible. By all means, stop, start, replay, do whatever you need to do to make this work for you. But I don't want to drag along too much, so let's move quickly. First bit, we've got to draw our cube, and our cube is a 90 by 90 by 90, and to do that we come under our create option there. You've got a section there that says box. Click on box. I would draw from the bottom plane, you don't have to, but I draw from the bottom plane, and I always start off from the very center, click once, and I drag out. Now you notice the two numbers there. If I just simply enter into my keyboard, use my keyboard 90, and then hit my tab key to get me to the other box, and then type 90, and then press return, that will give me a 90 by 90. Now I've just got to go up by 90, and I type 90 again, and press return. So there's my 90 by 90 by 90. Now, what you actually do with this is purely up to you. This is your design. I'm going to go through a couple of different types of ideas. The first one, the really simple one, is I can know a modify tool. I come down here, I'm going to play with my fillet first. Now my fillet will give me a lovely rounded edge. I'm going to fillet this edge here. Now I can fillet any of the edges if I like, but for the time being I'm just going to grab one edge. Click there once, it turns blue. I've got a handle there, that little arrow. If I push that in, click and push that in, you'll see I get a lovely, nice radius pushed out. Now you can type in your radius angle there, your radius dimension there if you like. But for our purposes, I just thought I'd quickly show you one. And that that could be your project in total. I mean, that's maybe all you've done, and then you'd simply click OK, and you move on to the next step. Alternatively, you can say, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to say, no, that's not what I drew. That's not what I'm going to make. I'm going to come back under here and go to my chamfer tool. Now, the chamfer is pretty much the same idea as a fillet in that it takes a piece of the material away. But in this case, it's more like a sawn edge. So again, I click on the edge. I've got the same handle. I can push that in. But you see it's no longer a rounded, but a flat. Now, the difference between a fillet and a chamfer, or one of the differences in a chamfer, is I've got this option here as well under the chamfer type. Now notice as I move this in and out, both lines move. Great, I can come down here and go two distances, click on that, and now I've got two handles, one either side, and I can change one, or I can change the other, so you can get a significantly different shape out of that. Now, what your design is all about is purely up to you, and that may or may not be what you're looking at. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you a third option. So I'm going to cancel there. Now that third option, it's where people have decided that they want to use this block as a holder for their mobile phones or their tablets or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the shape onto this plane here. And to do that, I'll grab my sketch tool and I'll grab the line tool, which is that one there. I'll click on that, and I'm going to draw on this face. So you notice now as I hover over, I've got those planes to work with. I'm going to have to draw on this face of this plane. I click once, and that should throw that all the way around. Great. So it's still 90 by 90. And now I'm going to draw the profile, the side profile of my my block. Now, this is where you need to get your measuring tool out and work out how far up first and how far in, so this is a realistic representation of what you're actually building or planning on building or have built. I'm going to do this roughly. So don't use my dimensions necessarily because I'm just going through this quickly if I can. I'm going to start off by clicking here. I'm going to move in across about 10. I'm going to come down 10. Across 10, because that seems like a good number, and then I'm going to just shoot up, not too sharp, don't go too sharp because we're going to drill a hole down here somewhere. I'm going to come into about, that's fine, okay, about there, that's good. Alrighty, it's probably not enough, but that's fine, that doesn't make a difference. Alright, so that's basically my side profile. Now I've got to remove this little piece off the side here, so to do that, I'm going to go back to my home, to that little button on the top here. And I am going to use my press pull. Okay, it's there, that's my press pull tool, or I can pull it down there and there it is there. Okay, so hover over the piece that I want to remove. This is it. I click once. I've got a handle there. I can drag that across, or I can just type -90. It'll be the same thing. And there she goes. So there's my -90. I just type that in. Click OK, and it is gone. Beautiful. Now, that may or may not be what you finished up with. Ideally, if your edges are that sharp, probably not too flash, I'm going to actually round each of these edges quickly. And to do that again, I'm going to grab my modify tool and I'm going to use my fillet. Okay. So my fillet tool, I can select more than one fillet, more than one edge if I want to do that. So I can click once, and then I hold my shift key down and I can click another. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do more than one fillet at the same time, but I reckon it just makes life so much easier. I'm going to fillet that tool, that edge all at the same time. So I've picked up 1, 2, 3 lines, and they're all going to go in, say, 2 millimeters. I could type 2 millimeters, or I could just simply do that, move it in. Now you say, well, hang on a second, but you haven't done all these other edges. Well, look, have fun, go and do all these other edges if you like. Click OK. In your own time. But I thought I'd just quickly show you that you fillet the edges. You could chamfer them if you like, but generally speaking, people round the edges off, so that's what we use. Alright, I'm going to stop now. Get to this stage, or get to a stage that is similar to this, and then we're going to drill a hole and so forth. So, yeah, I'll be back in